Right, let's try this. Hello, is anybody there? Right, sorry about that. I cannot get a feed for some reason. Ah, I've got one now. Brilliant. No, that's the old video. Maybe. Let's see if anybody joins me. Right, looks like I'm live. Is anybody there? Can anybody see me? Nobody join me. Right. I'm going to assume that I'm live and I'm just going to go for it. Right. Hi Lane. How are you? Can you see me okay and hear me okay? I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties again. We're going to feed. If you can just give me a thumbs up or just say yay, you can see me, then I can crack on. Thank you. Anyway, right, this evening I'm still not quite ready to go into Christmas, I'm afraid. So it is with, yeah, I just thought, no, I'm going to stick with autumn. And yeah, just going to do some, well, summer stroke autumn cards. I say I'm not ready for autumn yet. You know, we've only just finished August, so I thought, right, I'm waffling a bit because just got to put a plaster on. Yeah, can you see me, Elaine? Can you give me a indication that you can hear and see me? Otherwise I've got no indication whether people can hear me or not. I don't know. Can you... Hello? I'm not sure whether anybody can hear me. No. Right, well, I'm just going to assume and just wait for other people and hope that other people join. So, oh, I'm having one of those nights tonight. Right, I'll give that up. Right, okay, I'm just going to crack on. So, right, to get to this card, I created our own background. I created my own background, basically with what we call a one-sheet wonder, which I've done before, I know. This is a slightly different take on it, and the inspiration comes much from a lady called Ruth Trice, I think her name is, and she's from Artful Stamping. I will put the link to her afterwards on the link of after the Facebook Live, definitely. But yeah, that's yeah, pretty much inspired by her. Did the backgrounds. I haven't got one I can show you done, so but yeah, and then we cut it into 4, and that's how we get to make 4 different cards. Oops, which I'll just put that one aside. So basically we made 4 cards out of 1 piece of A4, so obviously I've switched them up. So 4 cards out of 1 A4 sheet, but obviously I've just stepped this one up a little bit more, so that's the one I'm making tonight, because the others are pretty much the same. I just put ribbons around them and a sentiment on. So can you hear me, Elaine? You still can let me know so I know. Right, anyway, I'm still going to crack on, and this one is yeah, this is Celebrate Sunflowers is the stamp set mostly. Oh, and I've used the rose from, I've used quite a few, yeah, I've actually used quite a few stamp sets actually. I've used the rose from Beautiful Friendship, the snowflake from Life is Beautiful. These are very good for doing background stamps. Stack Stone will be used on both cards, and say Celebrate Sunflowers. So, and that's the stacked stone in the background there. I will just go over a few things. I actually, when I first get a stamp set, or if I'm lost my mojo or a little bit, just need to find some inspiration, I generally just have a play. So this is what I did at the weekend. I just had a play with my son, did some background, sunflower. This is the wheat from Autumn Goodness. These are the leaves from the Life is Beautiful. Just had a play with the one sheet wonder, so I shall cut that up and make something with it. And this one I started as well but didn't finish. So just to show you my process basically. So to start off with, I'm still not convinced anybody's actually there. They're going to be there, be able to see me. So anyway, we'll crack on and hope that somebody can join. so to start off, we're going to do a background because I don't want a completely white background. Now I'm going to do the swiping technique. If you don't feel comfortable with this, just use your sponge brayer, which I have got here, but I'm going to just swipe. Now you don't want a completely yellow background, but you want some white showing, so try and be as light as possible. Yeah, that's okay. Maybe turn it over, and so you don't want too much of a... Bear in mind this is going to be cut up as well. Right, so that's that done, and then we're going to get our sunflower stamp, and I believe I used cinnamon cider, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I used cinnamon cider. I've actually got all my inks up now rather than bringing just a few, so I can just go for it. So what we're going to do, because we're cutting this up into 4 for your 4 card fronts, we're kind of doing a cross, but obviously not a, you know, we want a little bit of a, what do you got, a staggered cross. So to do that, we do, now you could do some Stampin' Up if you wanted to. You can turn it around. A little bit ununiform, you don't want it completely uniform. So this probably is a little bit too uniform for my liking. So we'll do that anyway. And then we've got to go in and do the, as if it was the bottoms of the card. So that one, turn it around a bit. Yeah, looks a little bit different from when I did it before, but we'll see. So we've finished with that. And then we're going to go in with the rose stamp with Poppy Parade to start off with. You can do some second generation stamping here if you want to. I didn't bring my foam mat up, but you don't always need it. Right, so we'll just squeeze that one in there. Squeeze that one in there. Turn it round. Like that. Hi Sandra, how are you? Can you possibly just give me a thumbs up, or at least say yes so that you can hear and see me, because I've had some technical difficulties tonight and I'm not sure what's going on. So just an acknowledgement that everything's okay would be great, please. Yeah, it's a little bit too uniform, but never mind. So we'll put that away. I think Elaine did probably give me a thumbs up, but that's still... It's weird at this end, as though you're getting... No, because you don't get any sound, you never know quite what other people are hearing and seeing either. Lovely, thank you Karen, brilliant, thank you very much. So I had to stop and start because just couldn't get a video feed tonight. So we're going in with the Bumblebee I'm using for this. I'm not sure I used Bumblebee. No, I didn't. I'm not using Bumblebee. I'll take that back because I'm using So Saffron. I want a little bit of a lighter lemony colour rose. So we're going to go in, and then you can do some second generation. Yeah, I don't quite know how this is going to turn out because it's a little bit different to how I did my other one, but we will see. That's the fun thing about doing these. Always a little bit different. Never wrong, really. No worries, Nancy. It's probably just as well you missed the start because it wasn't a good start. It never is with me. With technology, I couldn't get a feed for some reason. And I thought the internet would be good tonight because my daughter's not here using it all. So I thought, oh, I'll have the internet all to myself. But no, still didn't go to plan. Hey ho, we're working now, so that's the main thing. Kind of don't want a lot of gaps. Let's trim a rose in there, but I can fill in with some other little things. Yeah, it's a little bit too formal looking at the moment, but hopefully that won't be too, won't show too bad when we cut it up. You want it a little bit less formulated and looking like a cross. You want it in a cross shape, but you say a little bit more irregular, shall we say. I think you get more of a natural finish. Now we need to do some leaves, and I believe I did them in Granny Apple Green. Yeah, using a few combined sets here tonight to create this, but just I'm showing you basically, you use whatever stamp sets you've got. You don't have to go with what I've got. It's just a way of showing you what you can do to create these one sheet wonders and to create some lovely cards, or well, 4 cards you can get out of this sheet. And it's up to you whether you just use them as card fronts and just put sentiment on like I did for most of them, but then I stepped one of them up a little bit by adding the sunflower, which is what I'm going to show you, the sunflower one. Step up a little bit. So we just keep doing that. What we're trying to do is just create a collage and like lots of texture, really, lots of, or not texture as such, but lots of layers building on that. Oh yeah, and we certainly don't want all these bits, but I shall show you how it will be around that in a minute. All these gaps. I need another leaf or two there actually. So as I say, this is inspired very much by a lady called Ruth Trice, a lovely lady, and she's under Artful Stamping. I will put her link because her videos are definitely worth, if you like this type of thing, definitely worth a look. She's very inspirational. So right, now we're going to add a little bit more texture by going in with, this is the snowflake one from Beautiful You, is it called? Okay, sorry, Life is Beautiful. It's that one there. I was tempted to use these as well, but that would have just been too much. But I did use them on my other one sheet wonder. So what I did, I actually just coloured the sunflower in with this. And then it actually wasn't enough colour, but this still added to it, so I'm still going to do it. If you wanted it to stand out a little bit more, you could use maybe an orange. It's all about adding texture. Just different, I don't know, interest really, I suppose. Interest to your cards. So this might take a little while to do. As I say, you can see I've come off there, but that doesn't matter because it will just add to it. Yeah, you're getting 4 cards out of this, although it's taken a little while. you can create some very nice cards, and you can just have fun with it. Really, it's just going for it and having a say. And if you've lost your mojo or just haven't got any inspiration, doing something like this, trust me, it starts getting you inspired a lot more. Right, should we colour it in with Bumblebee as well? Yeah, I'll try it. Let me just. So now I'm going to just sponge over them because I still wasn't happy that it was. I want them coloured in a bit more. But you can actually still see that stamping underneath. So hopefully you can see that just makes a little bit extra difference. You don't have to be too particular. So that's that. Oh, didn't get too messy. That's amazing. And then what did we do? I'm just trying to think. I think we're nearly there. I just want to fill a few of those gaps in. Actually, I suppose I could. No, I'm going to use a very small, if I can find it. It's out of the friendship set. Let me just find it, because you'll be amazed what you can use. It's actually this one, which is meant to be for the centre of flowers, but it's just like a load of dots, loads of spots and everything. It just can add a little bit extra texture. So don't always have, just to show you, don't always have to use stamps for their intended purpose. You can use them for backgrounds and for other things, like especially like this, like snowflakes and stuff. Marvellous for creating texture. I think I did that in cinnamon cider. So we are getting there, but yeah, you just don't want lots of gaps. So just fill them in. There's quite a few here. And at the moment, it probably looks a bit of a hot mess. And you think, oh my goodness me. It's being creative though, but not having to be too artistic really. I think you get the general idea. Don't overdo it. Leave one in there. Right. So that's that. And then we've got. I think I might have done those in cinnamon cider as well. Yeah. I love cinnamon cider at the moment, so let's go for it. And that's the cardstock that I've used here. I've used grey granite for the base and cinnamon cider there, so it won't harm in using it. So we're just now going to create some extra interest with that. So that's lovely. It just lifts it really. This bit does. I think that will do for that. And then one final thing, we're going to use with grey granite a background stamp, because background stamps are for backgrounds, but they are also very good for other things as well. And this is one of them, especially this one. I fell in love when I saw this, and I've only just recently bought it, I have to say. Right, background stamp. Obviously you can see they are huge. I believe they will fit on the big blocks, but as I've said before, I don't own one of those, so I have to use the Stampin Rewards when I come to using it as a background stamp. So, but what we're going to do, we're going to do it, we're just going to use part of it. So I'm literally just going to curl it up like that. And I want to make sure I get it the right way, so it's that way. So So well, let me show you. So I'm just going to kind of go in a little bit more and just go for it. Hopefully you can see that. I'm trying to just creates that, I don't know if you can see it, yeah, that extra texture. So I'm doing second generation as well. Nothing too fancy, just going in, filling that background. Sorry if I just knocked the camera then. And it's amazing what you can do with this. It's probably a little bit heavy on that one, but yeah, I'm happy with that. I'll just do another little there. And we're pretty much finished. And you think, oh my goodness, that doesn't really look very good at the moment. But wait and see when we cut it up. So I'll just quickly wash this because I've got to use this again. For my other card. Right, so now we come to cutting it. So as usual, I'll be doing the same layers I normally do, and because I've got two layers basically, I've got the base layer, then this one, I'm doing this at 138 by 95. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it in 2 steps so I don't confuse people. So I'm going to cut it straight as if it was straight into 4s to start off with, which is 148 this way, 0.5. And then 105. So it's completely in 4 basically. And then I'm going to cut them down a little bit further. So I'll turn it round though. So we're going to go 95. 138. And you see what I'm doing? I'm chopping off. I don't want to chop off too much of my pattern, so I'm going for the lighter side. That's why I did it in 2 stages, because I thought that would make it easier. 138. 138. So yeah, as I say, although that took a little bit of time doing that, although it only took probably about 20 minutes, you've now got 4 card fronts to do whatever you want with. There we go. So I think we're finished with that. Let's get rid of the rubbish. So then you've got 4 card fronts, so obviously different directions. This one's obviously that way, so that one's the other way. That one's the way that I've done with that one. And you've got this. Then this is why I changed I put some of them as landscape as well, because I thought they looked quite nice. So that one could go landscape, and that one could go landscape that way. Yeah, does that make sense? So obviously I just tied some ribbon around there and then popped a sentiment on and put some little embellishments. So hopefully that's, yeah, all makes sense. So it depends whether you want to cover some of the pattern up. This one I have, as I say, I've covered it a little bit more. What one should we go with for? I don't know. They're all as doesn't really matter. We'll go with that one, I think. I know I quite like that one. So I hope that all made sense to everybody. I thought it was quite easy actually. So now we need the kits. So I have done a little bit of prep work for this because I thought it'd be on it, but I will show you how I coloured the sunflower in. I have showed you before, so I'm just going to do a little bit of it, but so I've got one already done. Done the sentiment as well. Don't know what that's for. So we'll just stick the layers on to start off with. Get them done. But yeah, by all means, you can say just have a go with whatever stamp sets you've got. It doesn't have to be this stamp set. If you've got some smallish flowers, roughly the same sort of size, it doesn't have to be flowers. You can use other things. But that's why I say I'll put Ruth's link up because she's been very experimental with lots of sets and stuff. So hopefully that will inspire you and give you more ideas as well. I can't put that on yet because well, I can do everything except the sunflower actually. So we're going to do 2 strands of linen thread, so double that. Love this linen thread. I do go through a lot of this. So I'm just going to stick 2 of those on the back. I'll just use my trusty tape. If you've got a tape runner or a Stampin' Seal, use that. I just put an order in and I forgot to order some more actually, but never mind. It's been a lovely day here today. I don't know if it has for everybody else. It was lovely yesterday as well. It wasn't too bad in the end anyway. Very lucky, considering they said the weather was going to be bad. Right, stick that on. I always take these off because they're glossy. I find they won't sometimes stick as well. So sorry if you can hear dogs barking. The neighbourhood dogs all started to go off. And we'll just put that upside down. So on the base, and now all we've got to do is the sunflower and the sentiment. Oh, and the bow. I'll do that while I'm here. Keep looking up to see if anybody's asking me any questions. Everybody still okay? Just watching? So when I do, I've got 2 strands here obviously, and you just tie them together, but it just creates a nicer little bow. I think you can do 3 strands, that's very nice as well. You can do as many as you like really. Oh, it's not gone very tight. Let's try that a bit tighter. Oh. Cut the ends off, and it's up to you whether you keep the loops together or you split them apart. Up to you. Just get rid of this mess. Right, so I'll quickly show you a bit of the colour, and yet again I'm using our inks, so I'm just using our normal Whisper White, so that means it's not shimmery like our shimmer. It's not designed to have loads of water put on it. So this is where you have, unless you use your shimmer white, that's fine, or waterproof, or watercolor card you could use. But basically, I'm trying to think what colours I used. Cinnamon cider again, I think. Yeah, you just got to be very careful not to lay loads of water down. So, got a very fine brush, and I will get some kitchen towel just in case. Oh, no worries, Alison. It's all right, just as well. So I had a bad start to start off with the technology. Oh, excuse me, I just got to reach for some water. Oh, has my camera moved a little bit? I think it has. That's me, sorry, knocking it. I notice there's a little bit of shadow tonight as well. I might open the blind in a minute. Right, so how did I do this? This is the one I've done. So I did a light cinnamon cider. So I'm not going to do the whole sunflower because I'll be here. I did take quite a long while to do that one. Probably 20 minutes, maybe a bit longer. I could have spent a lot longer on it, but it's one of those, you know. Do you want to spend 2 hours on a card painting it? Or do you want to get it done? The choice is yours. I do enjoy painting with our ink, so I, you know, but so very lightly. And I'm going to leave that to dry for a little bit. And then I'm going to go, I'm not sure if this will be dark enough, it should be. And then just going to go with it. Now if you're ever unsure of how to colour this in, I would suggest just going and having a look at a flower, quite honestly, if that's what you're doing, flowers. I remember something my art teacher always told me. He said, art is all 90% is looking, is seeing, and 10% is the drawing and the painting side of things. He said, if you whatever you're painting or drawing, just keep looking at it. So that's always stuck with me. So I go out into my garden sometimes and I just study the flowers. Obviously, it'd be nice if I had one in front of me. If I'd have thought, that would have probably been the wiser idea. But so I'm not going to do all of this. So you kind of darken your base. And then I'm going to go round again here. Now it's a bit drier. And go darker. And because obviously the centre is, well, it's seeds underneath the pods, isn't it? But so I'm going to try and do a stippled effect in a minute. So this all depends on how much time you want to spend faffing about painting, really, to how realistic you want it. So now I'm going to try and do a stipple effect. Your brush wants to be quite dry, but not too dry. I don't know if you can see that. I'm actually just putting the brush flatter. I'm exaggerating it a little bit just to show you. I don't know if you can see that. I don't really want to move the camera. So yeah, flatten the brush and you get a stippled effect. So you go around and do all that. And then you can do the same in the centre. That didn't quite work out with that one. I don't know why. But as I say, it doesn't really matter as long as you just get a textured effect. Bearing in mind not to go too wet all the time. If you ever feel it's too wet when you go in there, just wipe your excess off before you go on your cardstock. Otherwise it will warp and buckle. So you can go on adding to that. See, that's too wet. But for the benefit of Facebook Lives, I'm not going to spend all evening painting. Hopefully you can get the idea from that. And then we'll go in with the other colours, which is, I believe I used Calypso Coral and Bumblebee again. So Calypso Coral and Bumblebee. So yet again, just gonna, that's quite dark. And just blending it in really. just how flowers do. But you can probably see that it would take me quite a while to do a whole sunflower like this. But it is worth it, I guess. But it depends who the card's for as well, really. Yeah. Right. And actually, I'm now not happy that that's dark enough. So at the base, oh gosh, at the base there, I feel that now needs to be a bit darker. So you could either go in with cinnamon cider again or choose a darker colour. We'll see. So, and then just go in with a bumblebee colour and just try and blend them together, but not too much water. And I like to leave some white showing. Yeah, and I believe I did on these ones where it's darker, I went over with some cinnamon cider as well. I haven't done that, have I? I can't really tell you one method because I change my technique every time I do it. These actually a little bit naughty, but yeah, just depends how I feel, I guess, and what colours I'm using. Nearly there. Yeah, I definitely think that needs to be a bit darker at the base. So I'm going to just get Cajun Craze will probably be better. Just to darken up just a little bit. You may not notice the difference, but I can from here. I'll show you in a minute. I don't know if you can tell the difference between the two, how it's just slightly darker here. But it is getting a little bit wet now, which I'm conscious of, not to over wet it. So I don't want to overdo it. Ideally, you would leave it to dry in between coats, because obviously by the time I burnt myself round here, this would be dry. But because obviously I'm only doing a small area, it's not, and that's why it's bleeding a little bit. So yeah, bear that in mind. But that's basically how I did it, and the leaves were super easy and quick. I just used Mossy Meadow, and I just did that in one colour. Trying to leave a little bit of a white line down the middle for the veins. So nothing too difficult about that. And go in and darken it if you like. You can go to the edges if you like. I like to have a little bit of white. So that's super easy, really. Just going to pop these away so I'm tidy. So yeah, that's how you do those. But as I say, I've actually got one I did earlier. So we're just going to pop that up on some dimensionals. I can find some. No, they're mini ones. I'll put that out of the way as well before Split. Yeah, I'm running out of these. I have got some more somewhere, so I must find them. Right, pokey tool. Pokey tool. No, it's got the wrong end on. Typical. Oh, I know, yes, because I used that last week. It's just, no, I need the lid for that. So don't. Pick a tool. Is it called pick a tool? I never get the name right. But so you can see it's got two different different ends. Embossing end, double-sided embossing end, or you can change it for that. And it's got a spatula type thing on the end. And this side is a putty end. Just for anybody who doesn't know. And we're gonna. How are we doing for time? 1:45. So I've got the other card to make yet, which hopefully won't take too long. Possibly going to run over the hour. I tried not to last week, but I went well over, didn't I? Sometimes I have to. Some of you crafting while you're watching me? I hope you are. Or you're doing something. You've probably got the sound down and doing something. I'll pop that on there. And then leaves underneath, just glued. You can put a little bit of movement in them with your scorer, bone folder, if you like. I must admit, I usually craft while I'm watching other people's lives. Generally just don't sit there. Pop the leaves on. I think I popped this one up on a dimensional actually. There we go, pop that underneath. Just to lift it a little bit. And then a little leaf down there. And we're nearly there. Just got to quickly cut out the sentiment, which I've just embossed. Where is it? On Early Espresso. Because did I do that in Early Espresso? Yeah, no, I think I did that in Soft Suede, but I wanted Early Espresso for the back for this anyway. So yeah, I white embossed that, heat embossed it. I just thought I'd do it and save a bit of time. You've all seen me do embossing, I'm sure. We all know how to emboss. If you don't want to do this fussy cut, obviously you can get a die cut, or you can get a punch. You'd have trouble probably finding a punch size for this. Or you could use that new one and make it as long as you like. Forgotten what it's called. Thank you, Nancy. Can you still see it? I'm got my hands over it. Is it Tag a Punch? I can't remember. I'm terrible with the name, remembering all the products' names. Right, nearly there with that. I'm just going to turn my fan off a bit actually. Right, pop this up on some dimensionals too, mini ones this time I think. Hello Wanda, you're home then? How was the bike ride? I'm assuming you did it 100 miles. This lady just did a 100-mile bike ride today, if she completed it. That was her challenge. Lovely weather though you chose. Too busy eating. I think you are. I think you're starving. Did you do it though? That's what I want to know. Did you complete your 100 miles? On a bike. yeah, rather you than me. I've done it once before. I can say I've done it. Well done, brilliant. Well, not that I ever doubted you would. I say you had a lovely day for it. Less low wind conditions, quite sunny. I was quite envious actually, but hey ho. Wouldn't have really wanted to do the 100 miles with you, honestly. I just want the cider at the other end. You know me, Wanda. Right, let's put a little bit high, so we're just gonna have to put that up there and slip it under the leaf, I think. It's a little bit higher than the other one. Don't know how that's happened. It's gonna have to just probably done about that'll do. There you go. Yes, I've obviously put the sunflower up a little bit higher than the other one and a different angle, but hey ho, these things happen. It's handmade cards for you. As I said, we've got these lovely, what are they called? In colour enamel dots, that's what they're called. And we'll just, and I've discovered rather than picking them up with a tool, if I bend them back, I don't tend to pull the tops off. Big Gin, just good, you deserve it. You deserve a few days off as well. Where should we put that one? Right up there. Voila, done. So you can see that sunflower is completely different from that one. I think that might have been, I think I started that with some watercolour pencils actually. But not wrong, just different. Right, and we will do the next card, which is the Autumn Goodness stamp set. And I haven't made very many cards of that yet, so here we go. Just tidying up as I go. So I've done a little bit of die cut already. Hey Pat, how are you? Yes, lady. Oh gosh, yeah, Ladybirds tomorrow. Running tomorrow. So I don't know how she does it. If your legs will allow you, Wanda. Well, I'm just gonna have a sip. Excuse me, of water. I'm not on the gin. Right. So I think we will do the background first and get that done. And so I have done a little bit of die cut, and this was from the labels I used last week from the Tasteful Touches suite. Tasteful Touches tags or something. Yeah, can't remember. One of those. This is out of, I haven't showed you the stamp set, have I? It's called Autumn Goodness. So obviously you can see that's the wheelbarrow and the flowers. And you've got pumpkins as well. You've got wheat sheaf thing, whatever you call it. Sheaf of wheat, is it? Plus you've got dies as well. So, which I will just have to use for the wheelbarrow and the flowers. But so I've already done the fence. You get the picket fence in with that as well. But we are going to do the embossing with a stacked stone. Oh, that's got stuck. So, as I say, I've got to use the Stampin' Rewards for this because I don't have the big block. I'm trying to put that there so you can still see it, but I don't need that. That's really odd. I like that round that way. It must be because I'm right-handed. So there's trouble when you put this right in the corner. It sometimes doesn't. Oh no, I don't want it in the corner. I'm going to do it that way. I know what I did. I'm going to put my card underneath. Yeah. That's because that's got glue on it or tape. I think what I'm doing in a minute, I'm going to grab a magnet. So ideally you should put it in the corner, but I don't want an edge on my cardstock. So I'm going to put it there, put a magnet, and I'll just have to stamp it a few times. Just making sure the cardstock's covered. So obviously I won't get this area because of the magnet, but I'll just switch the magnet around. And I'm using clear embossing powder. So I'm getting that all ready. Don't really need to emboss it because it's an all over thing, but I will do just in case. Just want to make sure it covers that. Versamark. Probably should have re-inked my Versamark because it didn't quite cover it very well earlier. And that's the thing, lads, you'll know if you're not getting very good coverage, it's a time to that your inks and your Versamark need re-inking. This is getting a little bit dry, actually. I can see it is. So plenty of pressure, not too much pressure, but enough to, I know it's not going to come down there. Lift it up gently, and it's not yet. Definitely. Oh, I wonder if I've got, I have actually got it up here. Yeah, right. I'll show, well, basically the Versamark ink, it's quite a sticky ink and very thick, so it's going to be quite difficult to get out. And you probably wouldn't do this and then use it straight away. You'd want it to soak in a little bit. Oh, it's very thick. Haven't run out of it, so it's not that. Hopefully it'll just be enough to do this job, that's all. And then I'll do it properly afterwards. That's a bit better. Yeah, you can usually see if it shines on the stamp, and it really wasn't. It's a bit better. Still not going right. I'm going to use, put the magnet up there. You see I'm getting a little bit of a ridge. I haven't pushed that down enough, but never mind. Hi Catherine, how are you? I'm probably shaking the camera like mad as well. This is the marvellous thing about the Stampin' Artist. Yet again though, if you don't get it the first time, you can go back multiple times. It's that magnet there. Oh well, I'm happy enough with that. I need my paper, and I'm getting very low on clear embossing powder. I don't know where my paper's gone. I'm just going to shake it on here and use that. Oh gosh, sorry, just moved the camera. Yeah, very low on clear embossing powder. So, whoops, I'm making a right mess here, aren't I? Just want to make sure I get it covered well. You can see places that aren't covered. So flick all the excess off. I will clean my Stampin' Artist up afterwards. A bit naughty doing it on that. Not that it'll hurt it. There we go. I think I've finished with it now, so I can. Right, heat gun. A little bit of noise just for a while, and hopefully you'll see how it turns. I love it when you use them clear. Hi Annalise, how are you? I have to be honest, I think that's actually gone on, it's like, what do you call it, like doubled on the stamp bar, so I must have moved it slightly, in other words. Because it doesn't quite look like the other one, but it's, I love this, yeah, it's slightly different from, a little bit fuzzy. But anyway, it still looks like stone. Now I'm wondering whether to cut that off. I think I will, because I was just going to stand out like a sore thumb to me. So it'll just be a slightly smaller layer on the cardstock. I'll cut a little bit off this side to even it up. Always a way around these things. Right. So I've got that. That can. It's time 8 o'clock. We're not doing too badly for time. So I'm going to stick the picket fence on. There. Now, what I should have done was used my adhesive sheets that I've got. But guess what? I keep forgetting that I've got them. Before it's too late. But yeah, adhesive sheets are brilliant with die cuts. You just put it on the piece of cardstock on the back, run it through the die cut machine, and then you've got all your adhesive on the back ready. But as I say, I keep forgetting to use them, hence why I've got quite a lot of them. But I've left myself a note on my table now, so hopefully I will remember. It just does away with this faddle of having to put glue all on the back, and it's a lot less messy as well to put into your cardstock. I would thoroughly recommend them, they are marvellous, but as long as you remember you've got them. I'm not sure whether you can see, but the picket fence has actually got an embossing to it as well. If you can see it, I don't know if you can with this light, it's not good at the moment. But yeah, it's embossed as well. So that, cut the excess off. Hi Neil, how are you? I don't think Neil ever actually watches. I think he just catches it as it goes past his feed. I'm not sure though. Maybe he does. Maybe he's a stalker. Maybe he'll listen to me and respond. And this is out of the Tasteful Touches suite as well, this paper. There's lots of lovely textures, wood texture, granite, all sorts basically. And I thought this reminded me of paving outside. How did you get fenced in Boston? It just works for the new Stampin' and Cut in emboss machine, would you believe, Wanda? Yep, didn't work with my big shop ladies when I ran it through. It didn't do the embossing, but it does on the new machine. So I'm really happy about that. Another good bonus of that. So whether it's something to do with the pressures better, I don't know. But yeah, didn't have to worry about doing anything. I just ran it through and I was like, oh, it works. So yeah, that was good. Yes, exactly. Excellent. So obviously this is a little bit smaller. I actually quite like that nice white border. Yeah, I am very happy with my new machine. I know it's a little bit on the pricey side compared to other ones, but I just love it. It does the job really well, and I do love the fact that it folds up. It's just a lot more portable. And it does the job of cutting and embossing very well as well. Right. It might have been better to use a tape runner on this, but it will go. Go, and now we've just got to do the wheelbarrow and the flowers. And I am going to go well over time. Thankful for you. Yeah, I don't normally do many Thanksgiving. Well, I don't do Thanksgiving cards or but I just thought I might send some people I'm grateful for in my life. I might start sending some cards out to them. That's the plan anyway. I make all these cards and I never send enough out. So we will see. What did I do that in? Soft suede. Gosh, it's getting so dark, isn't it? What are we on? 8:05, and it's getting there. Oh dear. Getting through our summer. Nope, no more blocks. Not big enough. Right, where's my big block? So doing Stampin' the Wheelbarrow in soft suede, and then I'm going to, while it's reasonably still wet, well, it doesn't really matter if it's not actually, going to use my paintbrush in a minute. I'll show you. No, that hasn't stamped. See, if I'd used the Stampin' Artist, I could have done that again. That's better. The wheel. What did I do the wheel in? Early espresso. Yes, I've noticed even since I started this at 7, it's gone very dark. I hope you can all see still okay. No, wrong way, Sarah. Oh, and I'm going to quickly do the sentiment, then I can put those away before I lose them. So thankful. I don't ever like putting them, I like doing them separately. I kind of think you get a better, it's just me, but level as well. It's not quite level. Thankful for you. Should have put that in the middle a little bit more, but never mind. And then just as finishing touch with grey granite, I just added generation, I believe, as well. Yeah. So quickly do the colouring. Where's the water? So another good technique with the water brush, especially as we haven't got soft suede or we haven't got many brown colours in our watercolour pencils, so I just do this. I just colour it in with the, yet again, a dryish paintbrush, not too wet. It's a good way to get you a good range of colours. Goodness me, that is getting dark, isn't it? And yeah, I've got all my lights on, I'm afraid. I might have to look at some more lighting for winter. Could do the same with the wheel, actually. I didn't do it on the other one. So it's quite subtle, but hopefully you can see that it just colours it in. Does the job. And I'm using, rather than using Stampin' Blends tonight, I haven't used these to colour in for quite a while, so I thought I'd use these, my Stampin' Right markers. I didn't bring the whole, I've got the whole kit, the whole box of them. I think they're called Marvellous markers, aren't they? Something like that. It's lovely having the whole range of colours, I must admit. Before I bought them, I didn't ever used to use them because I just felt I was very limited with the colours I had. Once I bought them, I used them a lot more once I bought the whole set. You've got a thin end and obviously a thick end. I'm using the very thin end because the brush ends, just these are quite small. Just going to colour them in very quickly. Conscious that I'm sticking to that wheelbarrow. But yeah, this is a very nice set. I've got another autumnal set coming. A bit naughty of me, but I just couldn't resist it. It's the one in the catalogue, the mini catalogue with the 3 punches. Because I've seen some lovely designs with that. So I was a bit naughty and ordered it. Doing all the leaves first. Oh, sorry, I don't know if I told you what colour I'm using. Old Olive. You could use 2 colours if you like. They don't blend quite as well as Stampin' Blends do, but I think you can. But as I say, these flowers are so small, you wouldn't really notice, I don't think. What did we do? Oh, orange. This is Mango Melody. Yeah. Oh, I do the centres in Daffodil Delight. And I thought they were done in Daffodil Delight. I'll do them in Daffodil Delight. you haven't all fallen asleep yet. I know I've gone way over time again. I did want to show you how to create those backgrounds, so that was, if we hadn't done that, that would have been okay, but you needed to see the process of how I did it, didn't you? There we go, a little bit of, are we done? I think so. It's just die cutting now. So I don't quite know how this is going to work on the grid paper, we'll see, because I have stuck the grid paper down, so it probably won't stick. Oh, it might, so you can just about see it, get it in the frame. Not that you really need to see what I'm doing, but maybe you might like to watch it. So for cutting purposes, we have number 1 platform, it says number 1 there, look, tells me all this on here. Number 2, do not use it in embossing folders, but we can use it with cutting. And then we have 3 and 3. And then we just need the dies. So it's wheelbarrow, flower and wheel. Now you should be able to cut these all together. I'm going to try. I haven't got the magnetic platform yet, but we'll see if we can get it all the way through. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I can't quite, unless I stand up, I can't quite see. Yeah, I think that's good. And just the circle. Yep. Just hope and pray that they don't move. There we go. I'm very impressed that my cutting pads aren't, oh, the wheels moved a bit, aren't warped in any way, because they tend to. I haven't been storing them underneath either, like I'm used to. But yeah, they're still very flat. But very flat considering. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, wheels vary off, but that's what happens when you try and cut too many things together and not paying attention. So put the arms in. Oh. So that's the flower. I think that's a little bit off as well. That's, you would just take a little bit more time, as then you can have your head over as well, which is difficult for me, although I stood up. I'm just going to cut around the wheel a bit. Or you could just do one at a time, and then you don't have to worry about watching 3 things. Or you can washi tape them. Or you can order the new magnetic platform, which I believe it is available now. I'm not quite sure. It wasn't. Right, so I'm going to stick that to the top of the wheelbarrow with some glue. Don't know why that's just got a bit bent. Did I foam pad that? Yeah, I foam padded that, or dimensional I should say. No, you don't have to, but oh, I can't find anything in there. So put that on the foam pad. dimensional. Don't know why I keep calling them foam pads. And this too. Definitely need to find my other dimensionals. And we're pretty good to go, sticking it on. I think I just glued because that's already raised up. So as usual, don't leave anything, use all these edges, just cut them. You've even got the little bits there, look, if you've got little, which I have. So we can use the little bits. But the tiny, tiny bits. I like your little... Do you, Simon? Thank you. Are you missing me? Is that why you've had to come on? He's obviously bored, ladies. I think he's just finished a spin session, actually. Another one. Right. Right, nearly there. It depends on how much one you could have at an angle like that, but I'll keep it fairly flat, I think. All finished spinning. Yes, I can hear you have, because the music stopped. I could hear the music pumping. Surprise, surprise. So right, neighbours won't mind, I suppose. The youngsters. I think I sponged this. Yes, I did. Oh, paintbrush is in the way. Right, there we go. Using Bumblebee just because that's what I used. No, I didn't. I used Mango Melody, didn't I? Oh well. This is very similar. I don't think you'll notice the difference too much. Oh, wait, a little bit more yellow maybe. Ah, I should have done this before putting the dimensionals on. I never learn. Right, I'll put that up there. And we're done. Now you could add embellishments if you wanted to, but I think, I don't know, I just thought I'd leave it being as it had an embossed background. Right, that's that. That's the original one. Don't know where the other cards are. I'll just pull it back in. Oh, there we go. So yes, let's go show my face for a little while. Here we go. No, it doesn't want to see my. Oh, there we are. A little bit. Oh, hello, Dawn. You just come out right at the right time, just as I finished. Anyway, it's got very dark outside. I'm now going to go have my tea a little bit late in the day, but I wasn't hungry earlier. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next week, probably for another autumn project. I'm thinking probably towards the end of September I might start nipping some Christmas stuff in, but yeah, I'm still happy. I'm still enjoying doing all the autumn stuff really. So, and I've got lots more to show you. So that's what I will be doing. But thank you very much all for joining me, and I will see you soon. And I hope you all take care and have a very good week until next Tuesday. Thank you all. Thank you. Bye.